And we are set for the tail of the tape. At 34, Norris, 15 months older than Tyson, both under 6 feet, almost eye to eye. That's rare for both. At 218, Norris is 3 pounds below his heaviest ever. Tyson exactly where he was his last fight, and a slight 1-inch reach advantage. Tyson, key rules: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. No contest before the end of the 4th. They go to the cards if an accidental headbutt occurs after the end of round 4. So here at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas, Nevada, we are getting ready for the main event. Another comeback fight for Mike Tyson as he faces Orlin Norris. The official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the City of Entertainment, the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's time for the featured bout of the evening, a heavyweight special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing and brought to you by America Presents, matchmaker Thomas Brown, in association with Showtime Championship Boxing and the MGM Grand. This featured bout coming your way is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Elias Ghanem. Commissioners are Glenn Carano, Lorenzo Fertitta, Dr. Luther Mack, and Dr. James Nave. The executive director is Mark Ratner. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Flip Omansky, Dr. William Berliner, Dr. Margaret Goodman. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, we have James Cavan and Mike Lachella. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside, all 3 from Las Vegas: Art Lurie, Dave Moretti, and Dalby Shirley. Introducing the 3rd man of the ring, a referee in charge. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Richard Steele. All right, fans, here we go. The time has come for our main event of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gray trunks with black trim, fighting out of San Diego, California by way of Lubbock, Texas. He weighed in at a ready 218 pounds. His record stands at 50 wins, 5 losses, 1 no decision, with 27 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the former WBA Cruiserweight Champion of the World, introducing Orlin Night Train Norris. Presenting his opponent across the ring on my left, ready to fight out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing his traditional black trunks and hailing from Catskill, New York. He weighed in at 223 pounds. With a record of 46 wins and 3 losses, he has 40 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the youngest man ever to win the heavyweight title. Please welcome the explosive 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, introducing the one and only Mike Tyson. Once again, a referee in charge, Richard Steele.
Okay, you guys, I spoke to you both in the dressing room. I'm cautioning again, obey my commands at all times. Keep all of your punches in front of the man. Watch the low blows. Shake hands and good luck.
Mike Tyson should look sharper tonight. Look for him to be the aggressor. I think he'll go after the defensive-minded Orlin Norris, but the feeling is Norris will look to survive by grabbing and holding, and he'll try to box. But Norris's trainer, Abel Sanchez, says when it really gets tough in there, Tyson won't be moving and throwing combinations. He'll revert to what he does best, throwing bombs. We'll see. Richard Steele, controversial referee, the 3rd man, and here we go. Lapel for round 1, and Tyson comes right out with a straight left.
Orlin's a great defensive fighter. Good offensive fighter as well. Not with the power of Mike, but he's probably a little quicker. Very sneaky, good movement, and he's used to going the distance, Steve. He can go and do the 10 rounds, no problem.
Norris heavily muscled, not quite as defined and carved as Tyson. They're not used to being on the same eye level as each other.
Both are heavily muscled and the same muscle types.
Good left hook to the belly by Mike Tyson right there.
Tyson going to the body.
This is going to be something new. Mike's used to springing up into big men. Now he has a short man the same size right in front of him.
Great.
Notice right there, Orlin Norris also grabbed Mike's left arm on the inside and walked him counterclockwise away from that left hook.
At least Mike is trying to jab more than he did in the other fights. They've trained him to come in with a jab. Well, he's coming in with a jab.
And Norris boxing, throwing the jab, and
Keep punches in front.
Tyson holds.
Norris very cool. He's not at all upset. He's just boxing like he always has.
Not at all intimidated by the moment.
Not at all.
Heavy right hands, a series of rights to the head and body by Mike Tyson, getting a roar from the crowd. Here's that jab of Norris again.
Orlin still hasn't stopped and picked his spot. He's looking for the spot to get that pound of flesh. He's got to hit Mike and sting him a little so he can get some respect. Then he can implement his game plan much easier.
Norris's best weapon, the double left hook. There's a straight left hand there by Mike Tyson, and then he follows it up with a combination and a right uppercut.
Orlin's very hard to hit clean. Keeps his hands high and tight, rolls, uses his shoulders to roll with the punches and block them. If Mike is not in condition to go good 10 rounds at a good pace, could be interesting after we get past 5 and 6.
Orlin's one of these kind of guys that's fought everybody. He's not intimidated at all. I mean, he's doing this just like if he's fighting anybody else for the championship. I don't know what I see in Tyson yet. He's coming in with a jab. It looks like he's not bending from the waist enough. He's certainly not moving his head enough. He's still standing straight up. See, he's not bending over like he used to and coil and spring.
Punch and get out of there. Great, step back to him.
Norris, a consummate defensive fighter, good boxer, counter puncher.
Oh man, don't tell me we're starting that.
Getting cautioned by Richard Steele as we head for the bell.
That was a punch while they were talking.
Right, great.
Oh, and he hits him after the bell, and Norris goes down, and here we go again. Tyson hit Norris after the bell. And let's see what Steele says.
He hit after the bell. That's 2 points.
Oh, really?
2 points.
Deducts 2 points.
Oh, really? He could have lost the whole fight. 2 points. Put that on American Express. What
And
difference
just
does
like
that make?
that, the crowd is turned on Tyson.
You gotta listen up. That costs you 2 points.
Listen. Need that jab. Get him look at that. Get your rhythm. Show him that jab. Oh, you cannot stay in front of him. When you throw a punch, you gotta walk him. You gotta move him.
Come on, it costs him 2 points, okay?
Now,
Let's listen.
when you throw a punch,
Oh, great!
And once again, Richard Steele in the center of a hurricane. Mike Marley in the background. Norris's advisor is screaming at the top of his lungs. It's a disqualification because he hit him after the bell, and I clean it up for you.
I'd like to see that again because it almost looked to me like if it was at the same time as him saying break and the punch going. Time now.
Well,
Now this is politics now.
the bell is rung for round 2, but nothing's happening. Norris in the corner shaking up. They're
Abel
checking his
Sanchez
right leg.
saves his knee.
He's looking at his leg. He's saying his knee is hurting him. This is about a knee. This is not about anything else.
It's the right knee of Norris. Unbelievable.
This is not about his head.
Dr. Flip Pomansky, the man with the goatee.
So you're right there, and it's your knee, and you can't continue?
That's it. His knee. He can't continue.
His head, and he cannot continue.
Oh, man.
Can't make him continue.
You know what?
I
This
can't
reminds
make
me.
him continue.
It's
Now he goes over to the executive director of the Nevada Athletic Commission, Mark Ratner. Can you believe this after one round?
I can believe anything in Tyson land. It doesn't seem like we're ever going to have a normal fight.
There's Elias Ghanem.
Boy, somebody's mad as heck.
From the Nevada Athletic Commission, they're conferring with all of the guys there now.
Why would a blow on the head hurt your knee? I mean, you know, what?
Well, when he went down,
right, let's watch it. Let's watch it.
Slammed on his knee when he went down. Let's see.
Let's see. I want to hear him say break, and at the time, watch Tyson's arm. No, here he is. See?
Oh, it
he folded, yeah.
You could see his leg buckled as he went down.
I'll tell you what, though, I would like to see it at regular speed with the sound, because I think you hit him on the bell, right on the bell.
That's the way I see it, Bobby. I think that was a simultaneous thing, just as it was happening.
Here comes Mark Ratner.
Let's listen.
Now there's a lot of scurrying in the ring.
They better put protection up.
Here comes security. Boy, we've seen this scene before with a Tyson fight. Let's not see it again. They're forming a circle around Tyson. And you can hear the crowd chanting its displeasure now. And things are getting ugly again. There's Shelly Finkel, Tyson's advisor. Look at the amount of security in the ring.
You were fine. This is fine.
Well, everybody seems to be in the dark.
Well, I've never seen anything stop because of a knee injury. Have you? I haven't.
Nope.
And I've been in it for 40 years.
Well, we're dispatching the fight doctor into the ring. Maybe he can lend some insight into what's going on when he talks to people. And meanwhile, they're taping up the injured right knee of Orlin Norris, which buckled when he went down. At the end of round one, he was hit. It seemed after the bell by Mike Tyson. Mike Marley, Norris's advisor, screaming, and it should be a disqualification, and Norris should be the winner.
You know, Steve, I got the impression that Mike was trying to jam the left uppercut up as the bell was going off. I don't know that it was just that it was a clean left hook after the bell conscious thought. I really don't. I mean, I'd like to see it again. It just all happened too fast, and when you start a punch, it's hard.
But it's like the kid who cried wolf, Bobby. It's like, how many times can we see this happening with Mike Tyson? We will take another look. We'll show it again, but we don't want to leave the ring right now.
Saga continues. Never an easy day.
We want to stay right with this picture because anything can happen. But we will definitely show you a replay of the end of the first round. Again, I'm sure you'll see it several times again before this thing is over. So once again, Mike Tyson and controversy come together. Wish I could hear what Shelly Finkel was just saying. Well, let's find out what's going on. We'll get Jimmy Lennon Jr. up there in the ring to make an announcement. Take it, Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. This bout has been stopped after round number one due to an accidental foul which occurred after the bell rang. This bout is officially ruled at this time a no contest.
Well, you heard it. The bout has been officially declared a no contest. The fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, is with Mike Tyson. Ferdy?
All right, another night, another Tyson night. Give me your view of what happened. Did you throw the punch after you heard the bell?
Well, you know, you were there. You saw it. It was simultaneous with the bell. And the punch wasn't that devastating. He could have continued. He quit on his stool. But I'll take him again in my next fight. I'll fight him right away.
Well, let's fight him in December.
I'd love to.
All right. Let me ask you something. How could a blow to the jaw hurt his knee?
Listen, all right? He knew the next round I was going to put that heat on him, and he wasn't ready for that heat.
All right. Shelly, can they do something legally to screw this up? Can they talk disqualification?
No, they did already. They ruled it a no contest. It shouldn't have been that, but they did. We're ready to go back whenever Mike wants, and Mike said immediately.
Your disappointment, I'm sure, was great. You've trained well. You're ready for a good fight. You're ready to come back in December against anybody.
I feel great, and I just want to continue to fight one fight at a time and fight around 4 more fights and fight for the championship.
Yes, sir. All right. If this so happens that it falls at December, you could fight this guy again. Would you be willing, Shelly, to fight Orlin Norris?
Of course. Not me. Mike would fight him.
No, but you're all right.
Sure.
Hey, you and I have been around a long time together. You feel your snake bit or something every time something happens? God, every time you come up here, something crazy happens.
Well, listen, all praise be to Allah. I don't want to dwell on this anymore. I just want to say hi to my friend, the Smith family out there in Gilbert, Arizona. I like to say hi to Tiger Woods. We trained together with Keith Cleveland, and he did it, and I wanted to score another knockout because you were successful. And I like to say hi to my friend Chuck Zito, and get well soon. I love you, brother. Peace.
All right, I think that helps everybody else. Let's go back to Steve Albert at ringside.
Well, just got an official explanation from the other ringside physician here, telling us that Norris twisted his knee when he fell, and there you see the results of it all.
And I believe underneath that, Steve, there's a scar from some previous surgery and injury.
So once again, controversy and Mike Tyson are connected as this fight ends after 1 round. We're going to take another listen to exactly how it sounded at the end of the first round.
Let's go.
All right, right.
He definitely hit him after the bell.
He definitely hit him after the bell. I don't know if he heard it. I don't know what registered. It was definitely after the bell. It wasn't long after the bell, but it was after the bell.
We've got to find out if Mike Tyson heard that bell. Unbelievable. They stopped the fight after round 1 on an accidental foul. They call it a no contest. This thing goes 3 minutes and it's over. And just a lot of befuddled people here. Ferdy's up there with Orlin Norris now. Ferdy?
How do you feel ending this thing in this bizarre fashion?
I mean, I didn't want it to end like this. I mean, I was doing what I needed to do in the fight. You know, he hit me clearly after the bell rung. You know,
Did you hear the bell and then the blow?
Oh, I heard the bell, and I was about ready to take a step back to advance toward him. You know, but I still was watching him. But you know, he threw an uppercut. Rick still stuck his arm in, and then come another uppercut that he caught me with. You know,
But he definitely caught you with one.
Oh yeah, he hit me pretty square with it. You know, I mean, knocked me down.
What do you think happened to your knee? Why did it give away like that?
Well, I mean, like I said, I was the bell had rang. I know that rang. I was in a position where I was on my way back, where I was just going to spin and go back. You know, but he threw the uppercut. You know, boom, boom. You know, and I was just in the wrong position.
We've just finished interviewing. He says he wants to have you back as soon as possible. Is December too early for you?
Well, I don't know. I have to see, you know, what's wrong with my knee, you know. But
you mean we're going to put you on injured reserve like the football team?
I don't want it to be like that because this is not football, you know.
You think it can recover? Have you ever had any injury to that knee? Let's start there.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
This is a knee that's given you problems before.
Well, you know, I heard it once before, you know, but it's never given me problems.
Have you ever got it operated on?
Yes.
You had an operation on the knee, and this is the one that went.
Yeah. Well, it didn't go because of anything. It went because the way when I went down, the way my leg was contorted. That's what happened to me. Otherwise, there was nothing wrong with my knee. You know, my knee was fine. It's been fine for, you know, probably 8 years. You know, but it was just the way that I was stepping away from the action and got caught with a shot.
You think you're just part of the Tyson curse? Then no matter what he does, it ends up strange.
I don't know. I didn't want to end like this. You know, I mean, I'm not into curses or anything like that. You know, I wanted to have a fight where it would be clean. I lost. You know, if I lost, I lost. You know, if I got knocked out, I got knocked out. But not by getting hit, you know, at the end of the bell.
Was the fight going the way you thought it was going? Were you satisfied with the first round? Were you?
Oh yeah, I felt like I was winning the first round. You know, I felt his power. And you know, I knew what I had to do. You know, from that point on, you know, that was just the beginning of my whole strategy. You know, to boxing. You know, and feel his power. You know, and you know, I had got past that round. You know.
All right, so the main thing for you then is to rest and rehabilitate your knee, see what's necessary for it, and then make future plans to see if you come back with Tyson again or if they bypass you and keep on going.
Right, that's my plan, to see what happens. You know.
All right, Abel, we are going to go back to Steve and Bobby at ringside, but your last thing, are you very disappointed?
Extremely disappointed. We worked very hard in the gym. We didn't want it to end this way, but there was no way I was going to let him continue with it swelling up like that.
Absolutely. All right, to Bobby and Steve at ringside.
All right, Ferdy. Thank you very much, Ferdy. We did we observed that Orlin Norris was able to walk back to the corner okay under his own power. The corner instructed him to stay seated between rounds, and in particular his advisor, Michael Marley. Let's telestrate with the help of Bobby Ches exactly what happened here. Maybe it'll shed some light. I don't know.
Well, you're going to see right here is the knee. The telestrator's not working right now. Okay, as he comes in, now watch the shot. Now watch him go down. Look at this knee. The telestrator's not working, fellas, for whatever reason. But the knee right here, you look at his right knee, it's bent, and then his body will topple to the right, twisting it further. If we can run this photo, see, there you go. Now, only he knows, and only that knee can show what damage that did. I've torn a ligament in my knee in a similar fashion, but he did get up and walk back. I know when I made my fall, I didn't get up and walk anywhere.
How ironic that you remember in the Olympics. We'll get back to that in a second. But watch, he's getting up slowly. Let's see what he does here, Bobby. He's walking okay under his own power.
He's not even limping there. It's,
no,
it's not.
No sign of trouble.
That knee's not torn, because if he was torn, I tore mine doing exactly what Orlin did just there, almost the exact same type of fall. Tore it, and there's no way I could walk for quite some time.
And then, you know, we heard Mike Marley screaming for a disqualification all along, and Marley and the corner instructing him to stay seated between rounds after he walked back to the corner. Okay, under his own power, showing no signs of a limp. I was going to say that the irony in the Olympics, remember Evander Holyfield hit, I think it was a guy named Kevin Barry of New Zealand after the bell, and he lost the gold medal. And how ironic that it's the man whose ear was bitten a little over 2 years ago by Mike Tyson. Well,
I thought after the bite, I had seen about every possible variation of a normal fight night that I could, and yet again, here is something new.
The word normal and Mike Tyson usually don't go together. Mark Ratner with Elias Ghanem, James Nave in the middle there, in the blue suit, of course, Richard Steele, are all together talking things over. Mark Ratner on the left, the executive director of the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and two of the commissioners. Lorenzo Fertitta with his back to the camera. You saw him. And here goes Norris being helped out by Abel Sanchez, his trainer, and some members of the security.
No, I'd like to say something too. Mike Marley yelling rematch. We'll fight him again another time. DQ, disqualification. Let's remember back to another Norris, Terry Norris, when he was fighting in Mexico. Yes. And what happened there?
Was that Segundo Mercado fight or the Santana fight?
It was a Santana fight. He hit Santana on the head, not very hard. Santana went down, and we all thought, to a great degree, faked it. Just for a rematch, another purse and more money. And lo and behold, in that fight after the bell, Terry clearly hit him after the bell hard.
Luis Santana, right?
That's correct.
And that was like a series of vicious after the bell situations for Terry Norris, and he was considered at one time one of the greatest fighters in the world.
There were two disqualifications. The first one I thought was a lot of acting. by Santana. The second one was clearly a bad judgment call by Norris, but it's just maybe there's a curse on the Norris family.
So 2 more blemishes for boxing this weekend. Prince Naseem Hamed and Cesar Soto's wrestling match last night, and now this contest. Just receiving word that after this meeting takes place, one of the commissioners, or Mark Ratner, will come to us and give us an explanation from their viewpoint as to what happened here tonight. And we're still scratching our heads trying to sort this all out and figure things out. How about Richard Steele? Always finds himself in the middle of this stuff. Unbelievable. And of course, Mike Tyson too.
Even the Honorable Judge Mills Lane found himself sitting in the middle of one of them too.
Isn't that ironic too?
It happens to everybody.
He was the referee in the ear-biting incident. Well, here's Norris relaxing in the dressing room afterwards with the ice pack on his right knee. Abel Sanchez.
I had seen the scar there too, and I think they talked about it, that it was injured at one time. That's been fine for the past 8 years. Not anymore.
But I mean, there are going to be people who say this is a convenient injury here now. They're upset, they're ticked off because they feel the fight should have been a disqualification in Norris's favor, and it becomes a no contest and it results in a rematch.
But you know, to all due fairness, Richard Steele was slightly correct when he said an accidental foul, because Mike was in the middle of just trying to jam and get loose, and the bell had just rang, and it was less than a full second after the bell.
You'll transport down. Oh yeah, and then you get the urine over there.
The fight doctor is standing by with Mark Ratner. Ferdy?
Mark Ratner, another bizarre night when Tyson fights. What is the last of the discussions?
We're going to get the films. We got to hear the bell ourselves. We're going to review everything. We will hold the purse until we are able to review it.
You mean there's still a chance that something could happen where Tyson would lose the fight on a disqualification?
Well, we don't know. We don't know intent or anything right now. All we know is that Orlin could not continue because his knee was severely twisted.
Well, that's not in doubt.
No, that's not in doubt at all. The fight would have continued if he was mentally fine. He was mentally sharp. There was nothing wrong with the head blow, so the fight would have gone on.
It was an accident in that he twisted his knee in an accidental fall. I mean, he was knocked down.
No question about that.
So that's nothing you can help, and that's nothing you can fake either.
No, that's correct. There's nothing. Orlin will get paid tonight. We just want to make sure with Mike exactly when the punch was. We don't know.
Would that cause him to have a fine? Would that cause him to lose the person?
That's why we're going to review it on Monday. We'll have a special commission meeting and really check it out.
Okay, that does not mean that this poor guy is going to have to come up before the commission again, like some Salem witch hunt. I mean, are we going to keep coming again?
This is a bizarre intention. You know, it's one of those things that happens in the fight game.
Seems to happen to him a lot.
It's the story of our lives here in Nevada, and but we'll review it and we'll do what's right.
All right. You didn't answer my question. Does that mean that Tyson will have to come back up again? Again before the commission?
I don't know if he'll have to come back, or we got to see the film and to make a.
But what I'm saying, would his representative be just as good?
Well, absolutely. We have to have somebody from the Tyson camp, and maybe it'll be Mike. But what we want to do is just take a look, because we just can't make a decision without seeing everything.
Yeah. Well, I think it's bad and pathetic for us in boxing and for the general sport of boxing. You know, we wanted a good fight. We deserved a good fight. You know. Now, the question that comes almost to mind, all of you are here, why don't we just do this tonight? What are we waiting for Monday for?
Well, because we have learned more than anything not to make hasty decisions, to really look at it away from everybody, and that's what we'll do.
Well, you can get away from everybody. I don't mean to press you, but you can go back to a room and replay it. It's only a television tape. It isn't going to change from now until Monday. I mean, the result is going to be the same. You guys are here. There's an empty room. You sit down and you thrash it out. I mean, why keep everybody in suspense?
It's something that the commissioners want to do, and that's the way we'll do it.
Well, I regret that's going to hang fire till Monday. We got. It seems like boxing doesn't come up with quick answers to anything. Maybe you're correct in letting cool heads prevail. I don't think you're going to see anything different Monday than you're going to see today, and I don't think that it's necessary for you to make Mike go through more of that. I'm sure Orlin's not going to go through anything. You know. You can't do it. You cannot do and give him a special treatment. I mean, he's just another boxer.
Absolutely.
We've already asked you if you're going to hold the purses. You've already answered it, haven't you?
Yes.
Clearly, haven't you?
Yes.
All right, so you are not going to hold Orlin Norris's purse.
That is correct.
And you don't know yet whether you're going to hold Tyson's purse until you see it.
That is also
all right,
correct.
that's what I thought you told me a few minutes ago. Okay. All right, and in the final analysis, we've had another strange night, which you could not do anything about. We could not do anything about, and apparently it's just heaven sent. This guy has got a black mark on him. He just can't just get through a fight.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for coming and speaking to us, and we'll go back to Bobby and Steve at ringside.
Thank you very much, Ferdy. We're going to go back and take another look at the fight again. The fight, 3 minutes, basically, and we'll voice it over here as we see it ourselves in the past tense.
Well, and I'll tell you what, and I believe this. I was thinking it as the first round was coming to an end, which was in essence the fight. Mike Tyson was still not doing one thing enough, and that's the jab. We talked about the keys to victory. Mike was so successful when he was young, coming behind that double, triple, even quadruple jab, and then going from there. Here he's waiting on Orlin, looking to land the big one. He's not doing enough jabbing. Early on he jabbed a little more. As we get into the second half of the first round, he doesn't jab as much. See, he's looking for the big one, looking for the big hook, looking for the big right hand, looking for the big shots.
I thought Norris was fighting a pretty smart fight here in the first round.
I told people, I said, there's no such thing as an easy Norris. The whole family has a good sense of the fight game, good strong wills. They get in shape, they do what they're supposed to. They pay attention to their trade. He's a smart fighter, a good defensive fighter. I've seen him outbox men 6'4", 6'5", like Tony Tucker and Oliver McCall. Now, outboxing Mike's a different thing, but he was doing what he needed to, and he wanted to frustrate Mike. He wanted to get Mike to miss with the big shots, which he was doing. He was doing what he wanted to a degree, up until the foul, up until the bell, up until the twisted knee. I thought Mike was winning the first round by a little bit, but it was a very close round because there was not a lot of good action.
Certainly Norris's best days behind him, but the same can be said for Mike. Orlin Norris. Now it starts getting rough. Tyson trying to go to the body and to the head. Here's that.
Right, now if Mike were doing it back, Orlin would have something in his face to worry about, and then he could unload with the right hand, the left hook, and or the uppercuts. And it's very intelligent to hold Mike on the inside because that's where he's at his most dangerous. Even with a guy the same height. He's always close, he can hit you, he can hurt you.
Always been a smart fighter, Orlin Norris, well schooled. Here's a good left hand there by Tyson. Under a minute to go. And if you're seeing this for the first time, brace yourself. It's another controversy for Mike Tyson coming up in a matter of seconds. Tyson missing with that right. Trying to end it with one punch. Come on, punch as he did with Francois Botha back in January.
All the years I spent sparring, all the years I spent fighting, both as an amateur and as a pro, there have been many instances where neither myself or my sparring partner or opponent heard the bell, and we just kept fighting. It had nothing to do with bad intentions, just our focus and our minds were clearly on one thing, and that was doing damage to our opponent.
The crowd getting on Tyson there and Richard Steele. And here it comes. The bell clearly sounded. He hit him with the left. Down went Norris, but watch now. Watch the. As he gets up okay under his own power. No sign of a hobble or a limp. He deducts initially 2 points from
He's standing on it fine now.
Yeah.
And you know what? The fact is, he may have twisted a little bit and said something in the corners that twisted my leg a little bit, but otherwise I'm all right. And that's when the brainstorm started between Abel Sanchez and Mike Marley and everybody else seizing an opportunity to double a payday.
When you throw a punch, you got to walk him, you got to move him. Come on, Abel. All right.
We're listening to what Abel Sanchez said there. Couldn't really make out what he said to Orlin Norris, but
the knee wasn't involved in what I heard just now, though. That I will tell you.
Well, I guess it's an oxymoron, but it's another black eye for boxing.
Well, you know, Steve, it's unbelievable to me the amount of different types of things that we've seen over the years, many of them surrounding Mike Tyson, and they just come up with more.
It's just unbelievable. I just can't fathom that this has happened again. And what was determined here?
Nothing was accomplished tonight. Nothing was accomplished tonight. Nothing really.
And now, what happens to Mike Tyson from this point on?
Well, I know Dr. Nabe doesn't particularly like him. So
Dr. James Nabe?
He's part of the commission, and I'm sure they're going to hold another inquiry and this and that, and everybody's going to say, should he fight, should he not fight? I can't see. This type of thing happens in the gym every single day.
Yeah.
It really does.
Something shady here, though. Something is definitely shady. Mike Marley, the advisor, former sports writer for the New York Post, went to work for Don King as a public relations man, went to work with the Norrises. He was managing Terry Norris for a while, advising now Orlin Norris. He was screaming at the top of his lungs with expletives, this should be a disqualification. Orlin Norris should be the winner.
But it was he
who advised Norris to stay in his corner. And not
he also advised not just DQ, but immediate rematch, which leads me to believe that whether or not he was going to win the fight, whether or not he was doing well, and I thought he was doing well. Not relevant. The relevant thing here is another $800,000.
There's no question it could come down to dollars and cents.
Sometimes it's smart. I think when Terry fought Santana, I think it was clearly about getting another shot at the bucks.
Well, this was his biggest payday, $800,000, as opposed to his previous, which was $250,000 for Arthur Williams, and he would like another one. He'll probably ask for more money this time around, over $1 million.
I don't know, and that's in the future.
Well, we'll see what happens. Well, let's take a look at a recap right now of what we saw earlier tonight. At least we had a blazer in that first one. It was really an explosive fight as Garcia lost his title to Diego Corrales. The IBF Junior lightweight belt went to Diego Corrales from Sacramento. Stopped Garcia in the 7th round. That was a great fight. And then, of course, the Tyson-Norris fight declared a no contest after the end of the first round when Tyson hit Norris after the bell that ended the end of the first round. And then down went Norris. His right knee buckled, and his corner told him, don't go out for the rest of the fight. And it was declared a no contest after 2 points had been initially deducted by Richard Steele from Mike Tyson. And a hearing will be pending. The Mark Ratner and company will have to take a look at the tape, as Ferdy Pacheco was pressing Mark earlier, and they'll determine the future. In 2 weeks, Showtime Championship Boxing returns to England to feature the American debut of the popular unbeaten southpaw, Joe Calzaghe, who is the latest title holder in the long line of British super middleweight royalty. Calzaghe defends his WBO crown against highly ranked Omar Shika in a special presentation Sunday, November 7th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Another wild one with Mike Tyson. Seems like they all are. That'll do it for another edition of Showtime Championship Boxing. For the Fight Doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, Bobby Chaz, our entire crew, this is Steve Albert saying so long from Las Vegas, Nevada.